Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight at Reading Between the Lines to celebrate students and their accomplishments. I extend a special welcome to those of you who are joining us virtually. Thank you for tuning in. I am Robin Ryan. I joined Literacy Network as the Executive Director this past December. It certainly has been a joy to meet students, hear their stories, and learn about what they are accomplishing with the support of free adult literacy education. Our goal tonight is to share a snapshot of the impact that your support has in people's lives by hearing from students, instructors, volunteer tutors, and donors. This is the 13th year for our annual Reading Between the Lines fundraiser. For the first time ever, our MC for the event tonight is a Literacy Network student, Annabelle Carollo. Annabelle began studying with Literacy Network in 2019 and has participated in our group ESL, Community Literacy, and Transitions programs. Currently, she is enrolled in our citizenship class with the goal of achieving her U.S. citizenship. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Annabelle.
Thank you, Robin. I am very excited to be here tonight. What a wonderful event to celebrate students and literacy education. I will first like to share a little bit about myself and my experience with Literacy Network. I am originally from Venezuela. I decided to take English classes because it was very difficult for me to communicate on a daily basis when I moved here. Even when I was able to communicate in a very low level, I felt that I was unable to fully express what I wanted or who I was. It was very frustrating. My experience with Literacy Network has been very positive. I feel blessed for having the opportunity of meeting such a good professionals, but also amazing human beings. I really like the flexibility of the classes, especially during the pandemic. And this opportunity has completely improved my life. Improving English helped me to better understand the American culture, the people, qualify for many other jobs. It gave me the freedom to decide what I want to do for life and not being limited for my language. The freedom of expressing my knowledge, my humor, and my whole life personally in both personal and professional life. It helped me to recover my confidence that I lose when I emigrate. I want to keep improving my skills. There is not such a thing as perfection. There is always something to improve or to learn, and I am trying to get 1% better each day. From my experience, pushing yourself out of the comfort zone is the faster and more effective way to achieve your goals. Brave isn't who does not feel fear, but who with fear continues his path. I am excited to be here tonight supporting this organization that has made such a big difference in my life, and I can't wait to hear from my fellow students and other Literacy Network supporters tonight. First, let's get an update from Robin on her first months and how Literacy Network is working with students to help them build skills, reach goals, and connect communities.
Thank you, Annabelle. Before we share more about my experience and current and future programs and goals, I want to thank and recognize those who helped make tonight possible. We are very grateful to the event sponsors, which include Park Bank, Promega, Summit Credit Union, Task, Wagner CPAs, Bear Insurance, Findorf, Flaherty and Associates, Pines Bach, American Family Insurance, Left Bank Wine and Spirits, and Wisconsin Public Radio. I'd also like to give a special thanks to Boardman Clark, not only for sponsoring the event, but also generously hosting us in this wonderful space. We could not have gotten a better evening. Yeah. And a special thanks to Sarah Horner. Where is Sarah? Hello, Sarah. She is not only a board member, she is also an attorney here at Boardman Clark, so thank you, Sarah. Finally, I want to extend thanks to our amazing tutors, donors, staff, committee, and board members who make our programs possible. And above all, thank you to the students who, through their determination and hard work, are achieving their dreams. So when I started in December, I had a pretty good sense of the numerous ways in which literacy improves people's lives, from enabling communication for daily activities in the community, to improving employment opportunities and income to support a family, to the simple joy of reading, and to increasing connection to community. Now, the students will speak best as to how literacy impacts their lives, and you will hear from several of them tonight, and you have the student book to read. I got a very obvious but nice firsthand illustration of how literacy improves community connection when I started visiting classes at Literacy Network. The first class I attended was a Level 1 English class. I observed the instructor, Greg Willard, teaching common words and phrases by drawing pictures, placing objects around the classroom for students to name. And I will describe that experience as very satisfying to witness students persevering through the difficulty of learning language, working individually or in small groups, and receiving the support they needed from Greg and from one another. The next class I visited was a transitions class, and where's Cassie? Cassie was the instructor for that class, and she had planned for the students to ask interview questions and for me to participate in class. All the students in the class participated in a wide-ranging discussion touching on favorite leisure activities in Madison, as well as really heavy discussion of addiction and criminal justice policy. The class wasn't just satisfying, it was engaging, it was fun, and I left feeling really energized. And I will admit that although it was obvious, it did take me a moment to reflect and recognize that my experience in the classes was different, not because Cassie and her students were more fun than Greg. Rather, the ability of students to connect through a common language made all the difference. So while the impact of Literacy Network's programs was evident to me before I started, it was less clear what aspects of programming are important to achieving that impact. I will share 4 components of programming that in my first several months stand out to me. First is the variety and modes of instruction that make learning most accessible and relevant to students. We have instructor-led, curriculum-based, leveled classes for English as a second language learners, ESL students. We have that in person, we have them on Zoom. We have classes at remote sites across Dane County, including at schools and libraries. These classes are geographically accessible to students, and the host organizations make referrals because they already have connections with people who could benefit from the classes. And in particular, several schools refer parents to classes to support the children, parents in communicating with their children's teachers. We have a couple of employer-sponsored classes where the employers pay for students to attend classes on work time. We provide classes for specific preparation for the U.S. citizenship test. We have what I think is really a nicely designed set of tutoring classes where 8 students and tutors are paired in a class. There's a volunteer, an intern who is paid to prepare individualized lesson plans. So the students are getting really individualized work on what they want to work on, and they're getting lots of attention. So across all these variety of class formats, we are currently running 35 classes. And beyond that, we have individual tutoring outside a classroom setting. We have students working on high school equivalency testing, tutors embedded in high school equivalency classes at Madison College, and individual tutoring for citizenship. So the breadth of types of programming at Literacy Network is really wide. The second component that stands out to me is that we are serving students who have a wide range of circumstances and goals. We have ESL students with no English language ability and students who have very high English language skills. We have students who have advanced language skills in their native language, as well as those who maybe don't read or write in their native language to start with. We have students studying for high school equivalency, both native English speakers and ESL students preparing for college or employment training programs. And then we have students who are not seeking any particular degree or certificate, but just want to improve their literacy skills for their own personal reasons, such as reading to a grandchild. We have students preparing for U.S. citizenship exam, and we serve many refugees in Dane County. Last year, we served students from 75 different countries. The third component that really stands out to me is the role of volunteer tutors in maximizing the number of students served and providing individualized instruction. We had 380 volunteers last year, and the majority of them served as tutors. This arrangement works out really well because we have a wealth of talented and dedicated tutors in Dane County. They receive training, their lessons are prepared for them by an intern, and they are pretty free of administrative duties. So it's a really enjoyable experience both for the tutors and the students. Plus, the relationships that are formed between students and tutors are another way in which Literacy Network supports community connection and helps us avoid getting stuck in our silos in our daily lives. The final component that really stands out to me is our amazing student services team. The student services staff handles registration, enrollment. They contact students if they are absent. They do a student survey to find out what student needs are and connect students with resources. They can answer student questions about classes and address any fears that students may have about starting classes. They are bilingual, and many are former students. They're a really big part of making Literacy Network a welcoming environment for students. So that has been my experience thus far. It's been really an amazing ride to pick up from where Jeff left off and leaving the organization in such good shape with so many great staff and great students and lots of fun things to look forward to. So where are we going from here? We served 1,050 students last year. We will serve more this year. We are adding a basic class for summer semester, hoping to avoid or at least limit use of waiting lists. We hired a new director of student engagement, Mona Sultani. Where is Mona? Right over there. I hope that you will all get a chance to know Mona in the upcoming months. One of her major projects is going to be starting a student advisory board. So we will get feedback directly from students about programming, and they will be involved in decision-making for the agency. And the advisory board, we hope, will serve as kind of a cultivate students to go get experience serving on our board so they can go serve on other community groups, boards, and non-government committees. So finally, Literacy Network has always been really good about collaborating with partner agencies. We recognize that literacy is a prerequisite to many job training programs, as well as a key element for other social services programs. We will continue to specialize in what we do best, literacy, and extend our reach by partnering with these other agencies. So now it is my pleasure to introduce my colleague, Aina Longendijk, our Refugee Services Manager. Aina joined Literacy Network in 2018 as a part-time instructor and took on her current role last year. As Refugee Services Manager, Aina serves as both the first contact and continued support for refugee referrals as they work toward continued education and increased employability. She also teaches in our ESL group class programs. Aina, please come up and share with the crowd.
Okay, thank you. So last year, we had a record number of refugees attend our programs. In 2022, we had 101 students participating in classes, refugee students, which was a record for us. Right now, we are wrapping up the spring semester, and it's looking to be another busy year for us. So far, we've had 78 refugee students participate in classes already this year, and we're just finishing up the first semester, so I think we might break another record here. These are amazing numbers, and I'm so grateful that we are able to serve these students who face so many challenges. We couldn't do it without working with some of our community partners, so we work very closely with the Department of Children and Families, Bureau of Refugee Programs. We also work very closely with Jewish Social Services, which is the resettlement agency here in Dane County. We work together with Forward Service Corporation. Open Doors for Refugees is also an organization that we regularly work together with. And of course, we're also grateful for all the wonderful individuals in the community who are supporting these students with their daily tasks, individuals who help them with their English learning journey, and also, of course, your financial support of Literacy Network so we can help these students learn English in our programs. So that's a lot of refugee students in our programs. They come from a multitude of countries, but the most common countries that people are coming from are the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Afghanistan, Syria, and also Ukraine. A big flood of Ukrainian refugees started arriving last year. So those are the biggest population in our refugee student community. So when refugees arrive at Literacy Network, they are welcome to participate in all our programs, all our classes. Many of them start in our basic ESL class, which is the lower level beginner class, but we have them in all levels. We have some participating in citizenship classes, those who have been here a little longer, and we also have had some refugee students recently participate in computer literacy. So they are spread out through our organization. However diverse this group of students is, they all have something in common. They have fled their home country and have had their roots pulled out from underneath. They carry not only the challenges many of our students face, learning to navigate in a new culture, in a new language, they often also carry trauma along. Lives were disrupted, careers were cut short, education was disrupted or sometimes non-existent. Many arrive with children in tow. The first months of settlement for refugees are very hectic. There are many practical and bureaucratic things that are needed to take care of. Whereas some start their learning progress with us right away, they enroll in classes and they are loyally attending. A lot of them start taking classes and then just need to take a break because it is a very overwhelming experience for them, and they just need to take a step back, which is fine. We find that often they do find us back after a year or so when things have settled a little bit more. They have some more space in their head to take on new skills. I want to share with you some of the things that I really love about my job as the Refugee Services Manager. One of my favorite things about this job is that I'm the welcoming face that welcomes refugee students to our organization and get to reassure them that they will be okay. We can welcome them regardless of their level. If they are too overwhelmed right now, just contact me and you can take a break. Maybe later we can sign you back up. It's just really nice to be able to do that and meet so many different amazing people from all over the world. Another one of my favorite things is when after I register students for classes, I show them around our building and I show them some of our classrooms, and a lot of the refugee students' faces, they just light up because the classrooms are so nice, they are light, they are clean, they are calming, they are safe places to learn, and that's just something that is really amazing to them. I want to close this off by mentioning two refugees that have stuck with me. So I meet many I cannot, unfortunately, remember all of them. I remember their faces, but not all of their stories. But I want to mention Svetlana, who arrived last year from Ukraine. She came to us when she had just arrived the previous week. She was extremely tired and jet-lagged and traumatized. When I came into the room to talk with her, she was crying. That's how miserable she was, and it really hit me. And she told me, I am not sure if I'm ready to start a class right now. And we talked, and I said, maybe an English class is a nice distraction for you. It can distract your mind. Maybe it's nice to meet some new people. And also, when you start understanding more English, maybe being here in the United States is a little less scary. So she ended up enrolling in a basic ESL class, or low beginner level. She is completing her second semester, loyally attending every class. She hasn't missed one class so far, and she just re-enrolled for the summer semester. So that's just amazing to see that someone feels safe and comfortable to learn with us. She could actually move up a level now, but I think she really likes her routine and her safe place there. Another student I would like to mention is Ahmad from Afghanistan. He was a student who arrived in the spring and higher level student, and he started his classes and came back in, and I asked him, how do you like your classes? And Ahmad said, I like the classes very much. The teacher is good. This is the first learning experience in a peaceful setting I have experienced ever. So that made a deep impression on me, and I think that's the experience a lot of refugee students that we have share. So yeah, thank you so much for supporting Literacy Network and the work that we do to support these refugee students and all our other students. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. It sounds like you have a very busy year, and we are so glad you are able to connect with and support refugees in the encounter in this way. I am now happy to introduce our next speaker, Sarah Williams. Sarah served as a Literacy Network tutor for more than 10 years, Literacy Network's Director of Program Impact, Caitlin McKenzie, says, when I first met Sarah, she had already been tutoring Literacy Network for 4 years. I could tell right away that she was dedicated, thoughtful, and most of all, compassionate. As I got to know her better, I discovered her deep drive to support immigrants and newcomers in Madison. She is a relentless advocate and champion of our students and our missions. Sarah, we are so glad you could join us tonight.
I really stumbled into tutoring in about 2011 when a friend asked me to help her husband with his English before he went for the citizenship test. When I learned he couldn't have dual citizenship, I asked if he'd be disappointed not to retain his citizenship in Honduras. He laughed, saying, Sarita, I have Honduran blood. I want a U.S. passport. Shortly after Renee got citizenship that August, I saw a notice the Literacy Network was offering a class in tutoring. So I signed up and began more than 10 years of very deeply satisfying work. I love this work, both because I wanted to be of service in my retirement years and because I remain appalled at the rhetoric and treatment of immigrants in our country. I can't make big changes, but I could help individuals secure a foothold in their life here. For me, it's about the people. Literacy Network gave me tools, kept me on track, and connected me with amazing individuals. I'm not a teacher. I retired from 42 years of nursing. How'd I lose a decade there? At first, I thought historical context would help students remember the answers to the citizenship questions, until one man looked at me one day. He'd been struggling because he had a head injury and learning was hard for him. And he said, Sarita, you make my head hurt. I remembered this when I took him to City Hall in Verona to vote the first time. How could I not love this work? Sometimes I connected with people only weeks before their interview, so I started with an assessment. When I met Julio at a public library, I asked him to read all the reading questions. I checked his comprehension and said, "We're not going to spend any more time on reading, you know how to read." His face turned red and he glared at me and he glanced around at the people nearby in the library, and I thought, uh-oh. It turned out that he thought I was making fun of him. He'd had very little education in his home country, and he thought because of this lack he was stupid. We got through that and worked hard together for the next few weeks. I ask two things of every student I tutored, and one is that they call me the minute they leave that immigration office, and the other is that they vote. When Julio called me, he said, "Sarita, I didn't know I could learn." Several months later, I drove to his small town in Dane County and went with him for his first time to vote. After he voted, he said, "I now have my own construction company and I'm going to MATC so that I can learn how to manage payroll and taxes." How could I not love this work? A young Hmong woman totally sent my head spinning. I didn't speak Hmong and her English was limited, so I took my iPad to our sessions and used the translation app to help with some explanations. After a number of sessions, I knew enough of her story to ask her, "Where was your father during the Vietnam War?" I assumed her father had been a small child in Vietnam at that time. I was completely wrong. She very excitedly said, "Teacher, I use your iPad." She logged onto her Facebook account and showed me a picture of her father standing in uniform next to General Westmoreland in Vietnam. Time stood still for me. I was an anti-war activist on the streets of San Francisco while her father was fighting with U.S. troops in Vietnam. And now I was helping his daughter obtain citizenship. How could I not love this work? So many stories of hardworking people. I was in tears when I made the decision to stop tutoring for health concerns. I remain grateful to Literacy Network for the opportunity to serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. We are so grateful for the support and encouragement you have provided so many on their path to citizenship. Volunteers are essential to the Literacy Network's programs, and I have personally loved working with volunteers. Last year, 380 volunteers provided nearly 9,000 hours of volunteer support. That is amazing. Becoming a volunteer tutor is a wonderful way to support Literacy Network students. No teaching experience is necessary, just a willingness to learn and support a student. You can learn more about volunteering at Literacy Network website or by contacting our volunteer manager. Next, please join me in welcoming Glaucia Pilarski. Glaucia first learned about Literacy Network through her daughter, Cassie, Literacy Network Transition Programs Manager. Since 2016, Glaucia has not only been a generous monthly donor, but also an enthusiastic advocate for Literacy Network, cheering on our students as they reach their goals. Glaucia, please join me at the podium.
Thank you. I'm hoping I can make it through my speech because I've been in tears already with the last two people talking. As she said, my name is Glaucia Lima Pilarski, and for those who don't know, you know already, Cassie's mom. Cassie's been a part of the Literacy Network family for 9 years. First as a volunteer tutor while she was attending the University of Wisconsin, and then when she graduated, she became a full-time teacher. I had to give you this information because Cassie is the reason I fell in love with Literacy Network. Her passion for Literacy Network's mission and for being part of it as a teacher is what captured my heart. As you may know, and Robin did say, but I'll repeat it because it's in my, I have to stay in line with what I was saying. Literacy Network offers many programs like GED tutoring, citizenship programs, help for adults to succeed at Madison College, and they also offer classes for English-speaking adults who would like to strengthen their reading, writing, and computer skills. This is important for me because I have to tell you, I thought it was just English for immigrants. So this was a learning thing for me. All of these programs are wonderful, but the one that I can most identify with and the one that warms my heart is Literacy Network's classes that offer non-English speaking adults English classes so that they can become a part of their American community, advocate for their family needs, be a part of their children's education and their family health care needs. My family came here from Brazil when I was 9 years old. Even though I am 62, now you know my age, I remember the day we arrived in Chicago as if it was yesterday. Coming from a tropical country on December 21st. You can imagine how cold and snowy it was, but the hardest part, because I was the third child, the hardest part was not knowing English and not knowing why these people were talking and we had no idea what they were saying. So we felt paralyzed, all of us. There were 6 of us. I was placed right into 4th grade. Even though I had no clue what anybody was saying, I went right into 4th grade like every other 4th grader. It was really scary. Fortunately, I learned English in about 6 months, being 9, and was able to help my parents navigate our new life. This came at a cost, though, because I had to grow up very fast. I had to go with them everywhere that required communicating in English. It's just what I had to do for my family. And this is the reason I'm so passionate about Literacy Network. They offer everyone a chance to learn, to grow, and to pursue their dreams. Many immigrants, including my family, who come here feel scared, intimidated, and like outsiders. I remember that many, many times in my family, I would hear either one of my parents or one of my siblings talking about doing something and saying, no, we shouldn't, or we can't do that. But you will never hear that at Literacy Network. The staff at Literacy Network will always tell their students, yes, you can. We will help you, and do not give up. At Literacy Network, you are not judged, you are welcomed, you're not turned away, and you are not labeled as foreigners. You are a mother, a father, a daughter, a son. You are a family like every other family living in the United States, and you are part of the Literacy Network family. As Robin said, when I got a list from Margaret, I was astounded that past and present students have represented over 75 countries. Some I haven't even heard of, which shows that the US really is a melting pot, I only wish that my family had a Literacy Network to lean on, and a Cassie, when we arrived in Chicago. I truly believe that supporting Literacy Network is an amazing way to invest in the future of our country and in humanity. Everyone has something to offer our country. Literacy Network is here to show you that you can and you should. I would like to thank the donors, the teachers, the volunteers, and the rest of the staff for all that you do. And now I'm going to try to say thank you in a few languages that I learned, and I think I'm able to say it. So if I don't say it from your country, I apologize. I probably couldn't say it. So thank you. Obrigada. That's from Brazil. Gracias. Okay. Melesi, Gancheni, Khopjai, Saud, and Jakuyu. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story, Glaucia, and for all you do to support our students and their dreams. Donors like Glaucia make it possible for students like me to improve our life and reach our goals, whether it be a better job, being able to communicate with children's schools, or like me, becoming a U.S. citizen. Please join Glaucia in supporting our students and make your donation today. Your financial support helps students reach their dreams. Speaking of students, it is now time to hear directly from a few of them. This spring, students were given the theme I Am Ready and asked to write stories about what made them ready to come to Literacy Network and what they are ready to do now. Our first student is Hatice. Hatice came to the United States from Turkey in 2019, knowing fewer than 250 words on English. Fewer than 4 years later, she is enrolled in the Level 4 class at Literacy Network and is taking multiple classes at Madison College in order to become a healthcare professional. She also received an Altrusa scholarship through Literacy Network to support this goal. She is a role model for many, especially her daughter, who recently got accepted into UW-Madison. On Fridays, on Fridays, Hatice leads an online Turkish language tutorial with an East Side High School student. Despite her very busy schedule, Hatice agreed to help when asked, and she will be available. Let's welcome Hatice, the student, the mother, the professional, the instructor, and more recently, the writer.
Thank you, all of them. Who are you? Why did you come here? You can ask me more questions, and I can answer all these questions and more. But first of all, I want to share my life with you. My story here started in August 2019, when I came to the US with my family. Then my life in Madison began. I tried to learn many things, like many immigrants here. When I came here, I did not know much English, a lot about American culture and the many rules here, for example, traffic rules and government rules. At this point, I made my first contact with Literacy Network. I remember the first day I started learning English at the Literacy Network. I could speak a few basic sentences. Today, this situation is so much different. I'm not perfect, but I can write and I can talk better. I know the language skills I need to practice and exercise in order to become better. Today, I feel ready to continue my story in English. This piece of writing is good practice for me and my English skills. I don't know how long or how much I can write, but when I finish writing about my life, I want to publish it for everyone. I hope this will be interesting for others to read. It includes many different emotional times. For instance, COVID-19 started 6 months after we came here. During this period, pandemic was an incredible time all over the world. All people used masks, social distancing, and many people lived by individual rules. Luckily, now we are able to go back to our regular lives and we learn to be safer. In short, I am very excited to continue my life here. And the big support for me has been the Literacy Network and its teachers. I am grateful to all of them. It makes me happy to be part of this family. Thank you, Literacy Network family. I am ready for challenges and successes.
Thank you so much, Hatice. It's wonderful to hear how Literacy Network has helped you since you arrived in the U.S. Next, I would like to introduce Amada. Like me, Amada is a citizenship student. Amada's instructor, Jill, shares Amada is currently on the path toward citizenship. Since January 23rd, she has been enrolled in our evening citizenship course, learning the English, reading, writing, and civics needed to pass the citizenship test. Amada has also worked with a personal tutor and coach since 2016, and shares that Amada has made tremendous progress in the past 7 years. She's progressed into better and better employment opportunities where she used both spoken and written English more. She's gotten her green card, woohoo! And has been working hard on reading, writing, and speaking and learning lots of U.S. history and civics for the citizenship test. Anne says that working with Amada has been one of the most rewarding experiences for her in lifetime of teaching. Please join me in welcoming Amada.
Thank you. I'm ready for citizenship. To be ready for citizenship, I have to pass the test. I study for my test. I memorize the question and write the answers. I practice listening to the question and talk about the question with my daughter. She reads the question and I write the answers. I don't have the appointment for the test now, but I hope to take the test in January 2024. When I am a citizen, I will need to do many things. It will be good for me to obey the law, so I don't have problem. I feel excited about voting because I will be able to vote for the president in 2024. I will need to learn more about the people who are running for president. I'm trying to be a moral citizen, a good person, a good member of our community. When I work, sometimes people need help finding places in the hospital. I say, no problem, I will walk with you. I feel good helping another person when they need information. Getting a U.S. passport will be different. Right now, I have a green card for resident alien. I'm not sure how the path will be different. Maybe it will be easier for me to go to Mexico and come back. I will work hard every day for the next 8 months, so be ready for citizenship. Thank you.
Thank you, Amada. We are excited for you to reach your goal. Next up, we welcome Jorge. Jorge has participated in community English, workplace English, and community literacy programs on and off since 2009. Jorge's current community literacy intern, Laura, shares, Jorge was my first student at Literacy Network. Since the moment I began as an intern, he has always been extremely gracious to me and everyone around him. Every class, he expresses his constant kindness and enthusiasm to learn. Even after having long days at work, Jorge is eager to take on new material and is always looking to apply new lessons to his own life. Jorge is a role model in our class, and his story is evidence of his deep dedication to learning and the constant growth he has demonstrated in class and outside of it. I am very excited for everyone to hear and connect with Jorge's story. Please, Jorge, come share your story.
Thank you everyone. Good evening, thank you for staying here. My name is Jorge Carrera. I am a student's English class. And well, I decide to stay here with you for support this the Listening Network. When we decide to come here, don't have idea too difficult is work in other country, culture, bad people, and too many things more. But our immigrant community working hard, won the opportunity of ground together with the general community. Nothing was free. Now we need to decide what road take. Education is exit. Don't wait more. Not only is work hard, the opportunities in the community coming with the good people. Help with the education, write and learn together. Now, I am ready to keep going to learn and connect with the opportunity, give the community. Thank you, Listening Network, for the help us to keep going together. When we learn more, speak English, we have more opportunities to grow in our community, fighting day with day for one more future better. I feel ready to learn more words, English, because in my new job, the 90% speak English. Only I am ready to listen and understand more words and contractions to English, because it's very important to understand the contraction in the sentence. I am ready to grow in with the immigrant community. Thank you for your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Jorge. Congratulations on all your success and good luck as you continue to study. Our final student speaker tonight is Arina, it's right, I don't know, sorry. Arina joined Literacy Network's transition program this January and is already making great progress. Arina's instructor, Cassie, says, Arina's confidence and determination set a great example for other students. She asks thoughtful questions and is eager to participate in class. Arina's story shows how essential language and communication are when moving to a new country, and I look forward to hearing her share her story tonight. Welcome, Arina.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Arina, and I'm from Russia. I moved to the USA 11 months ago. My life in Russia based on communication. When I was in school, I was successful in writing and speaking. Literature was my favorite subject. I would say I am a very social person. In my country, I have a lot of friends and a lot of good and useful relationships. I have always worked with people as a teacher, psychologist, and through my job in retail. I would say that words are my power. I could do almost everything by using only my words and communication skills. Now, because my English is not well, I feel like I lost my power, and I need to get it back. I would like to communicate with people in English without fear. I want to feel confident, and I don't want to be worried about how I speak. I want to feel like English is my native language. This personal goal is more important for me now than professional goals. I think the Literacy Network will help me with that process. I need to get more practice and knowledge to kill my fear.
I want to speak and understand English well. I believe in myself and in Literacy Network. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hatice, Amada, Jorge, and Arina for joining us tonight and sharing your stories from the I Am Ready book. We have so enjoyed hearing from you and wish you the best of luck as you continue to work toward your goals. Our last speaker tonight is board member Beatriz Aguilar. Beatriz joined the board of directors in 2021 and is passionate about the impact improved literacy can have on adults and their families. Beatriz.
Give me a second. I'm Beatriz Aguilar. I'm a professor at Edgewood College. And thank you, Annabelle, for your introduction. Thank you, everyone who has taken the time to share their stories tonight. Adult literacy education is not simple or easy, but I hope you have seen tonight just how important and impactful it is. Tonight, we are asking you to say yes to Literacy Network students, yes to better jobs, yes to improve health, yes to greater equity, yes to greater quality of life, yes to stronger families, and yes to so much more. Your donation today makes a difference, and we are thrilled to announce that it makes an even bigger difference today. Thank you to Custerbury Financial Services, which generously provided a $5,000 matching gift for tonight's event. Join them as a supporter, please. Yes. When you give to Literacy Network, you can be confident that your donation will be put to good use. Literacy Network is backed by a number of recognitions that can help you be confident when you give. Literacy Network is accredited by Better Business Bureau, Wise Giving Alliance, rated a top-rated nonprofit organization by greatnonprofits.org, and earned the Candid Platinum Seal. It is a 2022 recipient of a Library of Congress Literacy Award and a 2023 recipient of the Incentive Grant from the National Coalition on Adult Basic Education. Literacy Network is also a proud partner of United Way of Dane County and Madison Community Foundation. To meet our 5,000 match tonight, we are giving you many ways to donate. Please give in whatever manner is best for you and whatever level is best for you. If you are here in person, donate with your phone using this QR code in your program, and that will take you directly to the litnetwork.org, where you can donate via credit card or PayPal. Or you can use the donation envelope that was set on your chair, write a check, or make a cash donation. Give your donation envelope to the volunteers at the door as you exit, or you can mail it. If you are watching the event tonight on Facebook, you can donate directly on Facebook page or go to our website, litnetwork.org. Don't forget that you can make a donation online auction site when you check out, or just visit the auction site and give via the Giving Tree. However you choose to help, you are making a difference, and we are so thankful for your support. All donations tonight will go toward the 5,000 match goal. Close to 1,000. We can do better. Come on. Remember also that the online auction, including our annual wine pool, is still open until 11 p.m. tonight. Get your last bids in for one of the wonderful items. 100% of all event proceeds go directly to support students like the ones you heard about tonight at Literacy Network. Thanks to our generous sponsors for underwriting this event. Now, let's wrap the night with our raffle drawing. Thank you.
So, Robin, would you please pick our lucky winner who will go home with a wheelbarrow of wine with a cake generously donated by Left Bank Wine?
Mark Mackesy is our winner. So I want to thank everybody who has participated tonight. Thank you, especially Annabelle and all the speakers. I have been amazed since I started in December with the wonderful community of students, instructors, volunteers, board members, donors who support this organization and the deep impact that it has in our community. My colleagues have been telling me for quite a while, just wait till you get to Reading Between the Wines because the students shine, and that is as it should be, and I completely agree with you. So thank you all for coming out here tonight and celebrating students with us. We have a wonderful evening. I hope you enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you.